Hello everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Baetty from Polytechnic Negeri Padang, West Sumatra. I want to talk about local challenges and reforms in technology use in language teaching and learning during the pandemic. I want to talk about the current situation that we face, the theories on language teaching and technology, this ongoing research and the tentative findings that I have withdrawn up to this moment. Talking about the current situation and problem, we knew that long before the pandemic start, technology has become our everyday life. Nobody can be separated from their gadgets. It's not only the students, even us, the teachers, we all the time needs our gadget to help the teaching session or for our personal life. And it's getting worse after the pandemic started in China in 2019 by the end of the year. And until now, we are being tortured, if I can say, to stay in our room teaching online, not being able to meet our students and engage with them in their learning. Before this pandemic started, there was already debate among the experts about whether the use of technology is effective in language teaching or not, and whether a certain types of application that people are using to teach are the best one or the most effective one. So these kinds of discussion and argumentation about which is more effective than the other one, whether using technology or not using technology. If we use technology, which kind of platform is the best to be used, depending on the context of the teaching we are doing or the debate. And then there was, beside the concept of technology and teaching, we also had a problem about we have been teaching English for years and years. And the result, the English proficiency that our graduates had was still not up to the expectation. So this all makes our life more complicated. Therefore, uh, before the pandemic start, implementing technology, especially the internet technology, into our teaching was problematic. We need a framework of what is the best way to teach in this kind of era. And after the pandemic, which affect the whole aspect of our life, then we need another types of framework in order to guide us through with our teaching. Okay, uh, if we talk about teaching and learning and the use of technology, we need to look back at the theories of second language learning. Within the second language learning theories, people have been introducing many different approaches to teaching, and the most famous and followed by many experts and suggested is the communicative language teaching, which later on developed into task-based language teaching. You might have known that task-based language teaching has been introduced long time ago. However, among experts in technology-based teaching, people who introduce computer and assisted language learning, technology-enhanced language learning, or technology-mediated language learning, and mobile-mediated language learning as the latest one, those people introduce us to combine uh, the traditional teaching with task-based language teaching. We introduce tasks to our students. Talking about our students and their facilities, or even our own schools, our own faculties and departments, which might have limited access to facilities. Um, Gonzalez and San Luis in 2013 suggested these types of resources that we can use to teach the classes. Um, However, as you can see, the latest one that they introduced was Web 2.0, and nowadays we are using Web 4.0, not 2.0 anymore. So everything changed very quickly. Um, During this situation now, when we already been pushed, the teaching has been reformed from traditional teaching in classroom to internet-based teaching, or in Indonesia we call daring or online teaching. British Council conducted research on about almost 9,600 respondents from 150 countries that spread across Asia and China, East Asia and China, and I'm not sure which other countries they did a global research. So it was quite a big research that they have conducted, and they found out there are so many problems that teachers face during this pandemic in teaching their classes. Okay, as you can see there, everywhere, not only in Indonesia, people have problem with the poor internet connection, or they do not have enough access to the internet. That is one of the most crucial problem that everybody face. Um, and it also takes longer preparation time. This is what I experience when I'm teaching in University of Nottingham for two periods during this pandemic. It takes very long to prepare everything, but very short time for us to teach our students in the real online context, because we need to deal not only with the lesson but also with the technical issues that come within the learning. Okay, then what should we do? Again, we have to integrate between the technology and our teaching. According to Socket and TOEFL in 2012, when we create a learning through the use of technology that enables students to engage with their classmates or other people outside of their classroom, it enables the students to have more freedom in terms of time when they can access, or when they will access the lesson or the materials, or when they will practice their language with other people. They have more freedom in terms of time of access, and it also create their motivation. Either from the beginning they already have intrinsic motivation or not, this will encourage the students wanting to participate or wanting to get to know other people and communicate with them in English, compared to only teaching inside the classroom without connection to the internet. All right, so since 2011, there was effort from these people, from Lion Lee in 2011 to Chappell in 2014, Gonzalez Luis 2013, Thomas and Reindeer in 2014 and 15. They introduced the concept of technology-mediated task-based language teaching, where they combine between tasks, giving students tasks to do, and using the technology. So students do not only learn the language like the way we learned the language long time ago, based on grammar, that we have to know the patterns of the language. But this time we are going to introduce how to use the language to our students by giving them tasks. So this is the concept that we supposed to apply during this pandemic. Give the students tasks and let them do the tasks and use the language instead of memorizing the patterns or vocabulary. Okay, therefore, teachers are required to be knowledgeable about the technologies that they introduce to their classes and the possible challenges of applying this technology. So, these two things of acknowledging is needed. Know the technology and knows what will be the challenges. So, at the time they face the challenge, they will be able to think about what is the best solution that they need to do. So, teachers' flexibility is required here. All right, and the next thing that I'm going to talk to is about the report by World Bank 2020. Okay, the same with the report from the British Council that was conducted between April to May 2020. This report from World Bank was conducted from May 2020, so it's very current. So World Bank recommended several things to do in relation to the delivery of the lesson. So among those recommendations, they suggested that training should be given to tutors or teachers or lecturers uh, to make to enable them to define their own plan for the content that they are going to teach, the goals that they want to achieve by teaching that, and the kind of assessment that they need to do according to the new situation. And we are also expected to be more flexible in okay, let me correct myself. We are introduced or we are suggested to adapt existing online or remote platform where creation of new online courses of traditional in-person instruction is not feasible. Okay, so don't be ashamed, don't be afraid that you will be using somebody else's materials that is available on the internet, on YouTube or somewhere else, as long as you are knowledge, as long as we are knowledge who made it. Okay, so it is okay. It is useful to save the long time preparation that was mentioned in the report by the British Council. And another thing is that we accept teaching the materials that related to our field to our student. We also need to support and give a coach our students of how to learn using the platform that we choose for them. uh, we also need to think about reforming the way we assess our students, the kind of assessment we give them and the kind of grading we give them. So there is a lot of reformation that needs to be done during this teaching, and how to do that is based on our previous practice that we have done in the last 3 to 4 months. Okay, this current research that I'm talking to you is an ongoing research which aims to explore teachers' perspective in improving English teaching through online mediums in West Sumatra for this context. And by getting the perspective, I want to analyze the challenges that they really found in a specific context of using a certain technology that they chose. And then based on that, I want to create a framework of application of technologies for a specific context, with the main research question is to what extent technology enhanced learning should be integrated with task-based instruction in order to make the learning become effective. My anticipated findings is there are some expected findings that based on this the challenges that I have observed from several questionnaires that I have spread out, teaching and learning process face challenges. Okay, so I will map out the challenges and I also identify the factors that cause the challenges. Then I would like to say that flipped learning concepts should be encouraged, and further exploration about toward the challenges is needed in order to create a good framework for technology enhanced mediated language learning. Okay, my conclusion is that integrating technology into teaching English is is required for teaching module in higher education. Okay, that's all what I need to present on this session, and here is my references. Thank you for your attention.